Okay. So now it emerges after several layers of understanding the question of the Ben Chacham. So he understands why post-Matan Torah is the Hamshoch of Atzmos. We explain what that means. His question is how through Maisa alone does a Yid elicit not only the Hamshoch of Atzmos, but the Gilui of Soivev and the Gilui of Mamalet. That's the question he's asking, as we explained in yesterday's shiurim. Yesterday and the last three shiurim were all to explain that point. Now the answer to explain what he's asking. So what do we answer the Chacham? We say we were avodim to Paray Mitzrayim, Vatziyin Avayim Mitzrayim, and the Eibishter gets out of Mitzrayim, etc. What are we answering him? He Shematan Torah Shoylachre Hagdama the Golus Mitzrayim Vitzias Mitzrayim. We're actually focusing not on Golus and Tzias Mitzrayim itself, but V'yotziyenu, Hashem took us out in order to give us the Torah. So the focus is on Matan Torah. So what happened? Nitn HaKoyach. So you're asking how this happens. Here's the answer. By Matan Torah, the Koyach was given Shadei Mitzvahs Maisius, not just through Kavanah, which we'd expect, which the Maimon itself, as we explained, spoke about the role of. And here's our question was, again, the obvious, I understand that the obvious elicit Giluyim. I understand that Matan Torah is the Chiddush of Hamshocha, but how is there also Giluyim in the Maisa? So the answer is that Matan Torah was given the Koyach, Shadei Mitzvahs Maisius Yamshich Hamshochas Achin Nailis. That even through the Mitzvah Maisa itself, even devoid, even though there should be, but even devoid of the Avodah Ruchnius, it's Mamshich the highest Hamshochas Seivev and Mamal, as explained at length in the previous shiur. V'gam, so the Hamshocha he understands, but the answer to his question, Shamshocha Shadei Maisa Mitzvahs Yiyeh Begilui. But Matan Torah gave the ability that there should be a Begilui. Now we addressed these questions, we don't feel it, but this was all addressed again in the previous shiurim. That's what we go on to tell him. That the Eibishter commanded us all these chukim. We'll soon deal why we only invoke chukim in our answer when he's asking about all three categories, or all two categories of Giluim at least, chukim and mishpatim. But we tell him, Hashem did so, commanded us in order that we be in awe of him. Yira, says the Fidige Rebbe, is oisius re'iyah. Being in awe means the same letters as the word to see. In other words, the idea of giloyim, revelation, seeing, experiencing. Shamshocha shadei asiyas hamitzvos, page Kuf Mem Hey, if you have the original sefer. Shamshocha, that through asiyas hamitzvos, v'yetzavenu lasos, as the pasuk began with, that through Matan Torah we get the koyach, tzivui, lasos to do, and in the Maisa b'payim, yiyeh begilui ad la'ofen shel re'iyah. That all the giloyim of Seiviv Mamala, and yesterday we addressed the question, why do we even be concerned with Seiviv Mamala if we have Atzmos? That was explained yesterday. So Iker Giloy Am Shochesh Adayisiyas HaMitzvah Yiyeh Losidlovay. So true Taka, the experience of it is not current. The Iker Giloy, but as we said in the previous shiurim, there is some measure of Giloy now that a person can and ought and does, if he does the avodah, experience even now. But the Iker Giloy is Taka Losidlovay. Shos tiyah, that's what he stresses ikr. Shos tiyah hariyah bedarges achi nailis. Then there'll be, we did this already, okay. So the riyah, the very highest levels, v'ad liyira oisius, v'ad liyira oisius riyah, to the extent of being in awe, which is the same letters of seeing, as Havaya Lekenu, which he translates here as being Riyas Mahus Ein Sof Baruch Hu. You see, Havaya Lekenu is Mahus Ein Sof Baruch Hu. I don't know why I'm getting the background noise. I thought I muted everybody. Why is that? Everybody is muted. Whoa. I'll try it again. Is someone's phone not on mute? Yeah. Okay, now it's good. So the answer in essence is, in one word, you're asking how there can be Giluyim through Maisa alone, in contrast to the avoid of the other, since the word Eschem. The answer is, when Matan Torah gave that koyach, not only the Amshach of Atzmus, but he does a mitzvah, and even if he does it, he says there's a Shaloi Lishma, with the Pniyah, like it says in Order 49. Nonetheless, the Giluyim of Sevev Kalalmin and Malak Kalalmin, conveyed by Chukim and Mishpatim, respectively, are elicited through his avodah Maisa B'Poel. Nonetheless, there's still the avodah required of the Yid. What's the avodah? Vizel. This will answer now the question why we mention the word Chukim. We say to him, Vizel v'yitzavena v'yalas es kol ha'chukim ba'ile chukim daike. We tell him, in the performance of mitzvahs, we describe them all as chukim. I'll say the words just inside the Maimah, and then we'll attempt to explain it. If he does the mitzvahs him consciously, only mitzad the mishpatim dimension, the tam, as we said before, Eidos is not an avodah. Eidos is a mitzias. You're a yid, atem eidai, and because you're an yid, and the Eibishter commands you, you connect to Atmos, so you mamshech Atmos. The avodah only exists in the doing itself. There's no avodah other than the actual Maisa B'Poel. And now, in terms of our contribution, he singles out chukim, not mishpatim. Which is finish the oasis till the end, and we'll try and explain. Reserve your conclusion. Just see what the Maimah says. Don't try and put together yet. Zelo pashut b'chlal, but let's just get the oasis, and then we'll try and explain this. So when his approach is only mitzat tam, then amshach shabei mitzvah same behelim. It's true you have the giluyim, but the behelim.
Rabbi, weren't we distinguishing between hamshacha and gilui before? So the hamshacha is behelim. I'm just saying you just touched it as gilui. The gilui is behelim, but wasn't there a distinction?
That which he is mamshech is behelim. He's mamshech atzmos and mamshech seiviv and mamshech memalet. But without the avodah of chukim, the hamshachas that is mamshech is behelim. You said yesterday it comes out there's the following distinctions here. There's hamshachas atzmos. One. Chiddush Matan Torah through Maisa B'Poel. Next chiddush is that through the Maisa B'Poel is the Gilui of Atzmos, namely Seviv Memalet. We addressed that, what that means. Thirdly, those Giluyim can be Behelim. So through Avodah, that's Begilui to some degree now. And fourthly, the Tachlis HaGilui is La'asid Lam. His whole question is on the Giluyim property, that this happens through the Maisa. Now our answer is that it's through the Maisa that the Giluyim are drawn down into the world, but that they shouldn't be Behelim this requires the avodah of chukim. Your avodah of chukim. What's your avodah of chukim? Not so much the his bonus. Let's just finish at the end, and we'll see in the order. So again, finish the last Oisius. The mitzvahs here begila. In all of these amshachas, and amshachas lashon rabim. He means here atzmos and soiviv mamale. That happens when he does the mitzvahs. Gama mitzvah, they does mishpatim, all of them. His approach has to be that they are all Hashem's commandments, and that is conveyed in the inyan of chukim, kamaya chukim. Now, just by the way, order 50. Our, whenever the footnote says something like this, is because the matter is not simple, but that's the lashon of the Maimer. Now, but the whole point was he's asking, it's an inherent contradiction. What have we answered over here? He's whole asking why these distinctions, and then we're saying, yes, these distinctions. We're going back to the avodah of the others. You have to have, we're singling out one of the dimensions of the mitzvahs which differentiates the chukim mishpatim in terms of kavanah. His whole question is, I understand kavanah does it. How does the Moishe do it? So we're telling you, no, you have to have the kavanah. What have we answered? So how does 49 and 50 address that question? First of all, 49 is saying that through Moishe b'Poyel, you do mamshich all the giloyim. Even if he's mekayim the mitzvah for an agenda. He says amshach, means all three are behelim. See, look at the Sichas Chilek Dalet. The dire but not a lichtike dire. Now, what's our answer to him? You have to have inyan of chukim. So, okay, that's the lashon of the Maimer of Frierdiker Rebbe. What does he? We have to say. What does he mean like this? Hakavonah b'chukim b'pasuk zeh. When we say the word chukim to the chacham, the intent is loyla kavonah haprotis b'chukim. We don't mean the individual kavanah that conveyed in chukim that we spoke about before. In all three categories, all mitzvahs have all three categories, and the chukim dimension is the l'maylim and aseichel that's in each. That's in each mitzvah. The tam nelam, rather. I'm sorry. The l'maylim and aseichel the tam nelam is the mishpatim, even in chukim. But the chukim means the higher than seichel component of each mitzvah. We're not talking about each mitzvah as he addresses that component, but rather the kavanah is, go back without the square brackets. Ki'im, lazeh shebechukim, mudgish hakavanah klal is the mitzvahs. Chukim convey the general kavanah, which is simply shekiyumah mipnei tzivoi Hashem. So what are we answering? We're answering that there has to be a general awareness. And the basic general awareness that's required is, for the giluyim to happen, is simply the general awareness that he's doing it because Hashem has commanded. If he does the mitzvah for personal agenda, for reward or any other agenda, then taka the giluyim adeh but the behelim. But in order for it to be le'yira, in order for it to be revealed, so therefore there is this aspect of the Matan Torah avodah required now as well, but in the sense of an opening, an awareness that you're doing the mitzvahs because they are tzivoi Hashem. Is basic Kabbalah's oil kind of kavanah, and that is the keli for which the amshachas, which happen through your ma'aseh anyway, should be in somewhat of a state of gilui. That's our answer to him. The mind is not satisfied with this, because why wouldn't you know this? Let's continue Oistes.
Also, we're saying he has to do the mitzvah for the chayk shebedavar. Yet why?
Hashem's tzivui.
But why? So you could be mamshich, so you could have giluyim?
So that
contradiction.
Because the amshachas that you brought down should be manifest in some way, should be begolui, but they're present.
But that itself is a reason outside doing it because it's Tzivah Hashem, like a chayk.
Huh?
The Indian of doing that to have giluyim.
It's not like we spoke before chayk. Chayk, the taich chayk before was the bittul of seichel. The bittul of seichel, right? The carving out of seichel, the bittul of welt. Here it's just the basic awareness and appreciation that it's God's commandments. Not the specific agenda of chayk. That's what he means in the ha'orah. Not like we said before, the kavanah pratis of chukim. The kavanah pratis of chukim is in every mitzvah to be mevatel the seichel. That's not necessarily, it's a beautiful thing, but it's not critical to the hamshach of the giloyim. The giloy, rephrase that, the giloy of the hamshachas. What the only thing that's required, it's a very simple thing. The only thing that's required to open up the experience of the hamshachas that every pashati yid does, achieves when he does mitzvahs on all three levels, is the awareness that it's Hashem's commandments. That he means by chukim here, that you're carrying out Hashem's commandment, not for a pniya, or if a person has no kavan at all, falls into an ocean when he has to go to the mikveh, so he's toher, without any kavanah. And all the giluyim that mikveh brings, Yitaka has, but behelam, aware that he's in the ocean because it's a tzivoy, that's the window that it's megalit. But that's a very simple kavanah. It's not the kavanah of the avos pre-matan Torah that he was asking of. There was the kavanah pratis, the bittul l'mayim, and they're experiencing the bligvul and surrendering to it, and the bittul of the seichel, the mishpatim is the understanding of the inyanim pratim, the svidus and the kavanah pratis of each mitzvah. We're not saying that is that's negeya to affecting those revelations down here. Every yid post matan Torah is megala everything, mamshich everything. But in order that the giluyim that you are mamshich not remain locked and affect, there's one simple kavanah that's required. The kavanah is a simple kavanah of chukim, that you're carrying out the Eibishter's commandment. That much of a window you need, that much of an opening you need in order to listen to the giluy of the hamshachas. And that's a Shulchan Aruch kavanah, simple Shulchan Aruch kavanah. That's not any high madregas. They're just knowing you're carrying on Hashem's kavanah. That's what's required. Somewhat clear. But still have to understand the kivin shetoyres and this kreide Isa b'Shem ben Chacham. Since Torah calls him a Chacham, why wouldn't he know this as well? Mistabish yedei achidush the matan Torah. Surely he knows the chidush of matan Torah. Shematan Torah nit nakoyach, but matan Torah atzmos. Again, this was more addressed yesterday. Atzmos versus giloyim. Why we even need giloyim in the face of atzmos? This was yesterday's shir. Shematan Torah nit nakoyach lahamshech adei mitzvahs ma'asis hamshachas achin nailes. The matan Torah was given the koyach in mamshech, this the highest hamshachas, and moreover hamshachas yibegiloy. And all you need, as we said now, is the basic awareness that it's Hashem's commandments. So Maya Shaila, so what is he asking Ma'idus? After a very deep explanation of his very deep question, our question still persists. Torah calls you a Chacham, you know this. And furthermore, it will come out from the Maimer, he asked the question last year, why he's asking it again this year? Even if he didn't know it once, but after the first Pesach, he knows it already. He knows it, that you mamshech and connect to atzmos and all the giluyim, nimshech lamata, but in a way of a giluyim, and all that's required is your awareness. That's a tremendous gift of matan Torah. What's your kasha? Explains the Rebbe, Yishalcha is epi mashakos and makemacher. So to understand the depth of his question, in light of what is explained elsewhere, namely, why does the Torah record in such detail the whole story of the Ovis? It's over. It was Akdama, we've moved on from there. The avoid of the Ovis was a Hakdama to Matan Torah. So the reason the Torah records it is because that avoid is negeya now as well. That even now after Matan Torah, even now we have to have the avoid of the office as well. Why would that be? And we've gone way beyond that. That's what we're talking about. That's all given through Matan Torah. So why is Negeya the whole story of the others? The answer is it is still Negeya now. Why? And the answer is as follows. We've been commanded every day that that Torah should be in your eyes as new. That's one girsa. We say it in Bizom, moreover, Chadoshim mamish new. Now, what does this mean? That every day, it's a pasuk, and Rashi brings it. Hayoim, as if I'm giving it to today. And Rashi explains that every day should be new. So, the intent here is not simply that our appreciation, our estimation, and appreciation of Torah mitzvah should be always fresh and new. More than that, here comes a gewaltige chiddush now. And the gam b'negel limud haTorah v'kiyam mitzvahs atzma, with respect even to limud haTorah and kiyam mitzvahs themselves, not just the appreciation of them. How's that? Shebachol yom sichem li is b'darge el yoyne b'darge nalis od yosef. Each day we have to perform the same mitzvahs new, meaning to say, on a whole altered and elevated level, as the commandment in Torah, we should always ascend in holiness. And not simply ascending in quantifiable ways, but an aliyah which is incomparable. To the extent that the Torah mitzvahs he did yesterday, they are as if without value. Or not just like no value. That goes even further. Taka no value. Compared to the level that is mamshich and Torah mitzvahs today. And that's why and that's why the Torah mitzvahs does today ought to be like new, and more than that, new fundamentally, novel, incomparable to the Torah mitzvahs he did yesterday. How is this possible? That's because every day we go to it's Matan Torah all over again. And if it's Matan Torah all over again, there's the avoid of the others all over again. There's pre and post constantly. And that's the reason why even after the giving of the Torah, there has to be this element of the avoid of the others that lived before the Torah was given. Because for you, the Torah is given today and you. So for you today, there's the avoid of the others. And that's the depth of his eschen. This is the ultimate answer why he says eschen. Because he, the Chacham, and his true bittul and experience of Matan Torah has placed himself pre-Matan Torah, as every one of us ought to do. And it comes out that the Chacham Shaila is not so much a Shaila, but an Avodah, a challenge. That's the way it ought to be. Because Matan Torah is every day, which is when we make a bracha over the Torah, we thank Hashem not as the giver in the past, the one who gave using the past tense, but rather ניסן Torah, the one who gives. That's the bracha we say every day, and the same bracha we say when we're called out to the Torah. Lashon Hoive, invoking the present tense. Every day giving, once is enough. The answer is no. Because every day, he's giving in you because it's a higher level. And therefore, it's the necessity. It comes at the end of the Ben Chacham's question is not Akasha so much, but pointing out the reality, there has to be the Avodah of Eschem. And if he's not asking Akasha, but pointing out this very deep and true Avodah, what are we answering him? We'll soon see. Doesn't need an answer, but we'll see. And he's saying that every day there has to be the Avodah of the others. So every day there has to be the Avodah of the others, which is a preparation for the Avodah today, to receive Torah today, and to do mitzvahs today in an entirely altered level, like the Chiddush of Matan Torah. Concluding now, therefore, what the Ben Chacham is asking / stating. And now we'll understand the depth of the Eschem. His Torah, that's why he's asking it every year. And every day he expresses this. Because the Torah mitzvahs of the Ben Chacham is every day is fundamentally new. Therefore, he's always holding by the beginning, of the Kodesh Matan Torah. He's always in a sense, because every day is Chadashim Mamish, always meaning every day, he's holding at the very beginning of pre-Matan Torah, as a preparation for to receive Torah on this day on a whole new level, on the matzav of Kodesh Matan Torah. This is the you, Eschem v'lo yishonu, because he's saying, now there is he's in a matzav of Kodesh Matan Torah, and his kind of question is, there's a kind of question here is, how do I get out of this? I'm in the matzav of Kodesh Matan Torah. He feels the emes that every day the Torah is being given, ניסן Torah. So how do I experience Matan Torah every day? That's kind of his question.
If he's truly asking that, then he understands that every day the Torah is given anew. So what is he asking?
Yeah, but he's
the Torah is given anew.
It's true. He's expressing the wonder of it. The wonder of it. Every day he's completely humbled by how is it possible that I, who hold by the Avodah of pre-Matan Torah, should experience this Avodah of Matan Torah, the gift of Matan Torah every day. He's expressing the wonder. It's not so much a kasha. You're right, he knows that ניסן Torah, it's every day. But he expresses mitzad his bittul, the wonder and the amazement of it all. We'll see in the answer a little bit more clearer what is statement. That's why he kept on stressing it's a statement / question. It's kind of a rhetorical question. But let's go further. There's more. So another question. If it's every day, why asking only tonight? Why asking now on Pesach? It's every day. Yishalcha, the answer comes now. So I'm going to explain now why he's asking this kasha tonight. Even as we explained, His question, on all the levels we explained it, is when get to mitzvahs in general, no matter however we understand it. So why is the kasha tonight? Ki Pesach, because Pesach, who laid as Am Yisrael. Pesach is what? Is the birth of Klal Yisrael. That's the Lashon HaNavi. And that's why Pesach is connected in particular to Chinuch. Where does Chinuch begin? When the child is born. So Pesach is the time of the Chinuch of Klal Yisrael, of Am Yisrael. And that's why he's asking it now, Dafke. And that's the connection to Pesach night. His question is, since he's the true Chacham, the true Bittul, he truly understands what's going on, and it's constant ascent, and it's a whole novel new Matan Torah, he's always in a state of being reborn. And when is that most manifest? Tonight. He's always in a matzav of before Matan Torah, and he feels himself relative to where he should be and could be today. He's not shaykh to anything. Then he wonders. He understands that it happens, but he's expressing his great wonder because of his bittul and the recognition of the renewal of Matan Torah, that he's holding by nothing. And how is he going to get to be connected in of Matan Torah, of Kiyum of Torah mitzvahs on a whole new level? So to think a lot about this question, but I think they're all getting a sense of his profound humility and bittul and emes experience of what is happening every day in Befrat on Pesach. It's the avoid of the Avos all again. And how am I going to go from pre-Avos to Matan Torah? So what is our answer? Answer. Even someone is holding. I mean, the Rebbe's Avos Yisrael here now that is connecting the Hamshacha of Atzmos and Seivev and Memale and the Giloi v'chulu, all of it, on a fundamentally new level every moment. It's shaykh to every yid. Even someone who is holding before everything, bepashtus, not just because it's chacham, because of his avodah and his bittul and his recognition that there's the avodah of every day of Livtei Matan Torah. But someone who just never even heard about this till a minute ago and puts on film. So the Hamshacha and all the Inyonim that we spoke of are shaykhs to every yid. As he goes to say now, someone who is at the level of a newborn, the Ruchnius, in brackets, he's not a newborn because of this lofty level of the Chacham who's in total state of renewal. No, he's a newborn because he has no clue about anything till a moment ago. He's at this lofty level because he's re-experiencing the ניסן every moment. We're thanking the Chacham for his question, because by asking that question, Al Pi Torah, he's giving Torah's response that this inyan of Matan Torah and Damshach Nailis is shaykhs to every yid, even one who is literally a newborn, introduced for the first time in his life. First time he's putting on tefillin in his life. He's Damshachas of Eidos and Chokim and Mishpatim and all the Giluyim Achin Nailim. He's shaykh to every Jew. And in a sense, Yishalcha, that's why he's asking this question, or at least in the purity and innocence of the true Chacham's question. He opens up the Torah's response to, yes, my child, and this is shaykh to every yid. Thank you for your question. Even the Tinuk kipshute mamish, beruchnis. And moreover, we say in Mizu, this is Meirdik, my friends. But this mindset is being mamshech to who? To everyone. Gamish b'matzav the eved lepar lemitzrayim. Never mind, he's holding in the avodah of the office. He's holding as an eved to para mitzrayim. Lifnei aleid Yitzias Mitzrayim, he hasn't even experienced the birth of Yitzias Mitzrayim. A child that's born, and then he has to achieve the maturity, which is the giving of the Torah. Never mind, he's not holding it at the avodah of the office, the birth. He's holding it as an eved to para de Mitzrayim. What's the answer to him? Moitzi avaya oisem Mitzrayim b'yod chazak. Even a yid that's Achman Litzlan is saying, enslaved to the Yetzer Hara in Mitzrayim, and no shaykhs to Torah and mitzvahs. Not just no shaykhs to Torah and mitzvahs, but an eved to Mitzrayim. So the answer is that Eibishter comes and takes you out, and you do this mitzvah, and Eibishter will bring to you that you will do the mitzvah, and all of these inyanim, shaykhs, are drawn to you and revealed to you. Because Hashem takes you out b'yod chazaka, meaning to say you have no choice. Hashem took us out with a strong hand, meaning to say no yid has a choice. The Eibishter will see to it that he's Mekayim the mitzvahs. He'll do tshuva. To be Yod Chazaka, Teikif is galus. Yod Chazaka means this intense a gilui of Hashem that nothing can obstruct it. Like the Agoda says, the Eibush himself, he redeems them. He's explaining Chassidus what that goes to Atzmos and Tiferet the Ein Sof and so on. Sure, dilug min hakotze lakotze. This is Pesach. From one extreme, notwithstanding how low and far and the Eved in Mitzrayim, from there the Eibush just schleps him out. Me'amata b'Yosef, from the lowest level, avodim the part of Mitzrayim or the Ha'mayla b'Yosef, to the loftiest connection, Agili to Chvaydev Atzma, and that's the Eidos, that's Atzmos, and all the highest Giluyim with which Atzmos reveals himself. And this is bequeathed and given and assured and a promise to every year. And it's unlocked, this response is unlocked al Pitoira by the Shaila of the Ben Chacham. That Hashem promised, like He took you out of Mitzrayim, I'll show you wonders. A redemption that leaps from one extreme to the other, from the double and redoubled darkness of Golus. Redoubled means that it's so dark that they think that the dark is light. And especially in the generation on the heels of Mashiach, that the darkness is greater still. He brings in Pasuk Shahara 62, this is the Rebbe's capital of that year, capital Peites. The Cherfa means the, what's the word in English? Not abomination, but Mecharef Megadef means to heap abuse. Blasphemy and abuse. They blaspheme your enemies, Hashem, and they blaspheme the heels of your Mashiach, mocking. So even in such a matziv, boyim miyad, from one extreme to the other, to become immediately gilui to the revelation of a nigla kveda v'vaya, that the glory of Hashem is revealed, maroch kol basar, and all flesh will see. The pasuk goes on to say that the mouth of Hashem does speak. And unto Hashem will be the kingdom here on earth. Bias Mashiach Tzidkenu b'mheira v'yameinu mamash. Amen. Okay, whether we understood all of the pratim or not, I think the general idea, hopefully, general ideas of the Maimon were conveyed. I encourage everybody to hear over the shiur, especially the last 2 or 3. And certainly the last part of the Maimon is, I hope we all appreciated what the Rebbe has wrought in these last few paragraphs of the Maimon.